Hello, everyone. I'm Dr. Wilmus, the Director of Library Services at GPTC. Today, I'm going to talk to you about Galileo, which is the set of databases that you will be using in your English 1101 research. I will also talk to you about a couple of other resources that will be very helpful to you as you begin your research. First of all, what you will need to do is you will need to be in your Blackboard um, dashboard. So if you see here, you have got a little bit of a different dashboard than what I have. My dashboard is the faculty dashboard, but you will still see in the middle of the dashboard a link to access Galileo. Let's do that. Now here's the Galileo homepage. You will know that you are properly logged in when you see our college's name in the upper left corner. Here's our search box. I prefer to do the classic search because it arranges your search results by relevance, which is how close they come to what you're looking for. Now you can just use the search box to search for your topic. So I'm going to go ahead and go down to my topic, which is COVID and mask mandates. So as you can see, I am phrasing it a specific way. You can see that I've used the word and between COVID and mask mandates, and then I have put mask mandates in quotation marks. The reason why mask mandates is in quotation marks is because I am telling Galileo I want to see both of those words in our search results, not just one or the other. I want to see them together, and I want to see them in that order. You can also see that I have put the word and between COVID and mask mandates. Putting the word and between your search terms, again, tells you that you want to see both of those search terms in your results. You don't want to see things about COVID that don't address mask mandates, and you don't want to see things about mask mandates that aren't specifically COVID. Using the word and should put both of those terms in your search results. Let's go ahead and search. And it'll take a few moments. But you'll see that we have 36,221 hits. Do not worry, you don't have to read all of those, but I do have to tell you that you have a much better search result set than you would have in something like Google. So remember, use Galileo and not Google if you want to have good research resources that are also very relevant, which means they come close to what you're looking for. Now, in order to limit this search, we would like to use our filters. If you go up to the upper left of this screen, you will see all filters. If you click that, it will open a screen on your right that has several different selections. The first thing you want to do is select online full text. This is the whole article right there on the computer ready for you to read. You don't have to try to track down a printed article. You can select peer reviewed, although I don't necessarily think that it's necessary for this topic at the English 1101 level. So we're not going to limit it to only peer reviewed sources. You don't want things that are only in the GPTC catalog. We have a small collection. You want to search all of Galileo. And the institutional repository, it's something that we don't really have, so don't worry about limiting to that. Now, date range is an important factor. With most medical topics, you want to stick to only those things that are within about the past 5 years. However, COVID is only about 4 years old. So you won't see anything before about 2020 or possibly late 2019. But let's say I am interested only in those mask mandates that have still persisted for about the past 2 years since the pandemic has become a little bit less serious. So let's say I want to use a custom range. I'm going to click custom range and I can input some dates. So let me go down. I don't want April 2024. I want to go back to 2022. And unfortunately, I found no better way than just to click the back arrow. January 2022. We'll start with the first. Oops, I didn't mean to do it that way. Okay, so let's do that. And then let's go back to the present day. Well, that's not wanting to work either. So I'm going to go ahead and use the forward arrows to go back to today. Unfortunately, I found no better way to do this than this way. Oops, I went a little too far. I went a little too far back. Okay, so it's April 4th on the day that I'm recording this. So there we go. We have our date range of about the last 2 years. Content provider is not something we want to worry about because we don't want to limit to any one particular journal or database. Source types. Let's say we're only really interested in things that are in the news or possibly magazines. Academic journals are the same thing as peer-reviewed journals, and I'm not going to include those in my search results for the purposes of this particular search. We don't want to limit by journal. We want everything that fits this topic and our filters. We don't want to limit by subject. That's a specific term that has a specific meaning for librarians, and we don't want to explore subjects right now. Lexile range is related to reading level. We don't need to limit there. We don't need to limit by publisher. Now, language, most of this is going to be in English. However, if you want to limit it to English, you can click the box. If you want to read it in another language, then you may also select one of those. Geography. Let's say that I am specifically interested in the mask mandates and how they relate to the state of Florida. So I'm going to click Florida. Now I'm going to apply my filters. And you will see that I have found 15 results, which is a much better set of results. So let's take a look at them. You'll see the first is a periodical article called Florida Schools Unwilling to Defy DeSantis Again Won't Reimpose Student Mask Mandates. This is the title of the article, and it looks to me like it might address my topic. Let's take a look at the abstract, however. Most of these have a very short abstract, which is a summary of what the article is about. Many Florida school districts had previously implemented mask mandates despite a state ban on them, even as the state withheld some of their funding. So that still sounds like maybe something that addresses our topic. We can access the article under the Access Now box. So you'll see there's the whole article right there ready for you to read. You can see that it has pictures. You can see how long it is. And it's moderately long. You can see there are some suggestions for further readings that may actually be available for you in Galileo as well. You can see the name of the author, Alison Durkee. You can see the date, January 3rd, 2022. It comes from Forbes, which is a very respected magazine, because everything in Galileo is a good, respected source. Now, let's say you would like to use information from this article in your paper. So what you would do is take the information and then put it into your own words and type it into your paper. The very next thing you should do without delay is create your in-text citation and your works cited list citation. Now those are going to be in MLA format, and there is a very, very good way to get an easy citation here in Galileo. So if you go up to the top of your screen, you're going to see several icons. You can have it translated. You can look at the table of contents for the article. You can listen to the article, can bookmark it, or you can go to Cite. Let's click Cite. You'll see here several different styles. You want to pull down to the MLA 9th edition here in the year 2024. If you're watching this in a future year, hopefully it'll have a later edition. But you'll see here your citation. You can copy it, and don't copy works cited. That's just telling you what you put at the top of your works cited list. You can copy the article and then paste it into your works cited list in your paper. Now, don't forget that this is not fully in MLA format. There are a couple of things you're going to need to do in order to make sure that it's properly formatted. First, once you've copied it into your paper, you want to make sure you change it to Times New Roman 12 point. You're also going to want to make sure that it's double spaced. Once you've done that, you can close the citation box. Now I want to show you a few other things that you can use that are available in Galileo for you that are going to help you in an English 1101 paper. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to the Galileo homepage. And you will see under that search box a section called In the Spotlight. If you scroll down, you're going to see several different resources. These are the resources that are most frequently used by GPTC students. Let's take a look at issues and controversies. This is a very popular database that is used in English 1101 classes for your argumentative or persuasive paper. Now, one thing you can do with issues and controversies is if you don't have a topic, if you can't figure out what you would like to write about, you can click in the right hand, All Issues A to Z. And you can see a list of issues on which you will find information in the Issues and Controversies database. Let's take a look at coronavirus, which is the name of the virus that causes COVID, so it'll be under COVID. You'll see several pro-con articles on coronavirus or COVID. Let's take a look at the one on quarantines and travel restrictions. And we just click there. Now, if you don't know much about this topic, don't worry. In the introduction to the pro-con article, you get a snapshot of what supporters of quarantines and travel bans are saying and what opponents are saying. So you get a good idea of what the nature of the controversy is. And you can see the article has pictures. It has a very extensive summary of the issue. It may have maps and charts. interactive maps and charts as well. And it may have a great extensive detail on your topic that you can read and get a better idea of what it's about. You may even want to cite this pro-con article. Let's go back up to the top though. We have several tabs with sources that are going to be very important for you to look at. Let's try primary sources. Primary sources are what we like to call straight from the horse's mouth. They're not the words of a journalist reporting on something. They are the words of the actual people or institutions that are making news. So first of all, we have got a court case, Biden versus Missouri. This is going to be a U.S. Supreme Court decision. It's not someone who was there for this decision writing what they remember from it. This is the actual statement of the Supreme Court. That is a better source than somebody who's just writing about it. And there's another court case. Here is the statement of the CDC about the coronavirus and the recommendation of social distancing. So this is exactly what the CDC said about social distancing and how you should do it. That's a primary source. And so I am going to try to go back without using the back button. Oops, and I went too far. I'm going to go back into my issues and then my coronavirus or COVID issue. There it is. Okay. And we're going to click there. Okay. And then we have another tab with just those court cases. Media. Media is news primarily. You're going to see news videos. You're going to see news audio. Fresh Air is a radio program on National Public Radio. And guess what? All of these sources, the videos and the audios, are citable. I'll show you how to cite things in Issues and Controversies in just a moment. And let's go back. Didn't take there we go. Now, infographics are basically educational visuals. So let's take a look at an infographic. And there is an infographic about the American public's top policy priorities and seeing that COVID-19 is the lowest priority for people in 2023. All right, let's go back. And we're going to see editorials. Editorials are informed opinion pieces. They're not the random opinions of people on the internet or on social media. They are informed opinions by people who have some background that indicates they can speak with authority on a topic. Usually editorials are going to be found on newspapers or the newspapers or news organizations' websites. So let's see, this is not an editorial on coronavirus. It doesn't look like it. Okay, so we're going to continue the meeting. And then we are going to see, this is interesting. Many of these are not coronavirus editorials, but you can see, here's one from the Atlanta Journal-Constitution. And it talks about the SAT, which is not really a coronavirus topic, but you can see it comes from the Atlanta Journal-Constitution, and the author is Maureen Downey. Now let's see, If we can find a little bit about who Maureen Downey is. And it doesn't say with this particular one. Usually at the bottom, it'll tell you who the person is that is writing the editorial. But I can tell you that Maureen Downey is one of the editors of the Atlanta Journal-Constitution. Let's go back. Okay. And then we also have news articles from an organization called Reuters. Reuters is a major international news organization that provides a subscription service to smaller news organizations like the Atlanta Journal-Constitution, giving them access to news reports that they might not have had access to if they had to go out and report on worldwide news themselves. So you can see news articles from Reuters. And there's a news article that is coming from Reuters from Toronto. So the Atlanta Journal-Constitution doesn't need to go to Toronto to collect this news. Their subscription to Reuters will collect it for them. Issues and Controversies is a great resource for you if you want to really find information to support your argument for your argumentative or persuasive paper or speech. Now, I wanted to show you how anything is citable, including videos and audios. And what I'm going to show you goes for any resource inside Issues and Controversies. So let's see, we've got an audio file. This is from Fresh Air. And you can listen to it or not. But if you listen to it and you want to use something from it, just go up to the top here and see where it says Cite. You're going to see a citation that looks doesn't look quite right, and that's because it's in APA format. We want to make sure we use MLA format, and that is the correct format for us. So you're going to notice a couple of things about it. Number one, it's not hanging indented. And so what we would need to do is copy it, or actually you can use the copy here, copy it, paste it into your works cited list in alphabetical order by the first word of the article, which probably here would be ER rather than AN, because AN is what's called a non-filing word. But then you would need to make sure you hanging indent it, which is something that we can show you how to do here at the library. And then you'll need to make sure that it's in Times New Roman 12-point font and double spaced. Once you've done that, you're done. So this is the main rundown, very quick rundown on how to use Issues and Controversies. Now we are going to go back to the Galileo homepage. I may have to do back a few times since I'm in full screen view. Okay. Well, I'm just going to go out of full screen view and then go back to the Galileo homepage. There we go. And then let's go back into full screen so you can see it better. Okay. Now you'll see here under In the Spotlight, there's the Galileo homepage again. Under In the Spotlight, you're going to see MLA format. This is GPTC's guide to MLA format. And you'll see here a number of tabs. You're going to see a link directly to the MLA handbook. You are also going to see the contact for your MLA librarian, who is Mr. Owen. He created this guide, and he's a great person to ask about MLA format. However, all of your librarians at GPTC are also good people to ask about MLA format. Now, if you go under MLA citation examples, you're going to see a few good resources. Now, Galileo is not all we use for our research. Sometimes we use printed things. Sometimes we use things from reputable websites. So here are some formats An ebook from Galileo, well, the MLA citation should basically look like this. Last name, comma, first name, period of the author, the title in italics, and so on and so forth. So you see what your format should look like. And then you have how to cite a journal article, how to cite issues and controversies, how to cite websites. Now, here is something I do want you to be aware of. If you want to use something outside Galileo, it's very hard to tell whether that's a good, reputable, authoritative site or not. Your best practice is to contact the library about it. We will look at it for you. We will tell you whether it's a resource that your instructor will be okay with. So do contact us, and I'll tell you in a few minutes how to do that. And if you scroll down, you're going to see information about how to cite printed sources. Online sources, electronic sources are not the only things that you may want to cite. You may have a printed book that you want to cite. You may have a printed magazine or newspaper that you want to cite. Well, here's how to do that. And again, it's examples of how to do your full citation and your in-text citation. So you can copy the format, not the text, but the format of these citations. Now, if we scroll down, we're going to see a few amazing resources. We are going to see the MLA 9 handout, which is basically what you're looking at here in a printable format. You're going to see a quick PDF on how to do hanging indents. So you can use that to figure it out, or you can contact the library. You're going to see a template for your MLA research paper. I'm not going to open this because it'll open in the wrong window and I won't be able to share it easily. But it will give you an example of a perfectly laid out MLA research paper. You can take the information in that sample paper and replace it with your own information. And then you'll have a perfectly formatted paper for yourself. You don't have to figure out how to do a hanging indent. The hanging indents are already there. Just replace the information with your own information. You won't have to figure out how to do a header with automatic numbering. It's already there for you. Just replace the name at the top of the header with your own name. You won't have to figure out where to put your instructor's name, where to put your course number, where to put your own name, where to put titles, how to double space. It's all there ready to go for you. There's a little bit of blue text at the bottom that tells you exactly what was done to create that formatted paper. Delete the blue text before you turn it in. But it's all there, and we're ready to help you with that template if you need our help here in the library. So what I'm going to do now is I am going to direct you to the top of this guide. This guide is part of the library's official website. And you can see at the top here, there are links that we used to call breadcrumbs that tell you how to get to the home page of that website. Just click GPTC Library. And I'm going to show you a few things there. The first thing you're going to see is links to how to get into Galileo and our ebooks. And Galileo is more easily accessible from your Blackboard, but you can also get into it from here. You can see that a window was just pulled out asking if you need help. If you click Chat Now, a librarian will chat with you and answer your questions. But I'm going to click No Thanks on that. You can also send us a text message at 404-800-1811. So I recommend copying and pasting that phone number into a document somewhere, or you probably can't do that with a video, but you can also take a picture of it, and then you can send a text message anytime you have a question. So that is and one more thing. We also have a guide to English 1101 resources for you right here on our website. You just click it and it takes you to the guide where it gives you a Galileo tutorial. It gives you an issues and controversies tutorial. You've also got some information about new books that are used in English 1101 and 1102, including the MLA handbook, Um, and you've also got a link to our chat interface. You've got a link to looking for things in Primo and Galileo. Primo is our online catalog. And then you can look at our topic development guide, which is right here, which gives you some information about how to find and develop a topic. Oh, I'm at the college website, which I didn't intend to do, but let me go back. It's not allowing me to go back. Okay, back. There we go. And then back. There we go. I want to get back to our homepage with our text messaging number. Don't call a number now. There's no one there to answer it. It's simply for text messaging. So that's my presentation. I hope you were able to learn something from it. And my recommendation is to contact the library. Send us a text. Tell us what you thought. Also, we can send you a survey so you can let us know through the survey as well. So please just send us a text or come visit us. We have two locations, one at the Newton campus on the ground floor of Building B, and one at the DeKalb campus right at the front of Building A. So we're here to help you, and we thank you for listening and for viewing the presentation. Thank you.